Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys my final recap and impressions and thoughts on Ushio to Tora's second season, which is on episode 13, the final episode. So, if anything else, let's just get this started. Okay, at the beginning of the episode, we have to it that Tora is mocking Hakumen about being jealous and angry about what humans and the yin yang, whatever Torah mentioned, everyone has on Earth, and Hakuman therefore um gives him the confirmation of this theory that he is jealous about this thing. Like he was born in darkness while living in the dark and seeing that everyone else is just living in the light ahead, and therefore Hakuman ends up being almost defeated apparently, and as for the others, those who's making the barrier are being protected by their loved ones, etc. And we have to it the Hakumen no Mono ends up gouging her eyes out due to the fact that she's seen too much of this thing and that, and therefore uses her senses and smells to attack Tora and Ushio. But apparently we have to it that Ushio, on the other hand, ends up seeing that Tora used the Beast Spirit to go into his body, so the Hakumen no Mono won't be able to sense it, And that is a pretty smart move right there. No denying that. And therefore, Hakumen no Mono was unable to sense it, and therefore was about to do a killing blow, And therefore, Toro is still stubborn not to admit anything about thanks to Ushio changing him a lot, And we have to it that after the Hakumen no Mono has finally been defeated, thanks to the efforts of Ushio and Tora, Ushio used the spear and managed to blast away the head, and Tora ends up using his lightning powers to deliver a final blow, and therefore Hakumen no Mono was really saying don't forget me, don't hate me, agonizing pain. Therefore, we have to it that Hakumen no Mono says, someone say my name in a quiet voice, not my real name. My name's not Hakumen. And therefore, after the Hakumen finally dispersed into thin air and finally dies, we have to it that the Hakumen somehow turns into a baby, possibly. I don't know. But one thing for sure, Tora, on the other hand, finally disappears too and dies while he tells Ushio that it's been fun, well, in his own way. And says, I'm full right now, And we have to the Ushio was about to be turned into a demon, but because of J-May and her brother managed to stop that from happening. And therefore Saya-chan was about to Saya-chan, the girl with white hair was about to close the door, except it can only be closed from the inside, But apparently Mamori, or whatever her name is, apparently decides to take on that role and goes to the underworld with her mother, and therefore cries in pain after Saya-chan sees her mother, the girl with the white hair. And as for Ushio, he's knocked out, and for the yokai, a lot of them, or should I say at least maybe 80 through 90% of them, ends up going into the pillars that is about to break up, that kept hold of Japan, and therefore decides to use themselves and turn themselves into stone so they can become the support pillar. But they say that they are doing this because they love Earth and it's filled with so much life and so forth and etc. And therefore, as for some yokai, they were asked to stay behind due to the fact that they bonded with them for a long time, and it would be sad to see everything go. And therefore, that's about it. But 1 month later, it was March, and then we have to it that Mayuko, Ushio, and Asako has a graduation, and we have to it that that Kyrio, who's apparently adopted in the family, ends up saying, I'll eat all the hamburgers, do you hear me? Even if you say you want one, I won't let you have any, and so forth. I just go Kyrio, you're so freaking cute, you know that? And therefore, Ushio, who's been eating food from his mom, he's oh my gosh, it feels so good. And therefore, there was a funny scene about Ushio getting his mouth wiped from his mother. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, that's just so cute, man. You know what I mean? Etc. And we have to it that Ushio, on the other hand, was really happy to see that things come to an end, but at the same time, it was fun. But we have to it that the Mirror Demon, who's been showing us everything so far, and says, you know what, you're gonna miss us? Oh, let me tell you something. You know, as humans die and been born, they don't come back to Earth. But as for yokai, one day, and therefore it ends up with the funny quote that someone will turn to the world, and it goes with Ushio saying like, "Let's go, Tora!" And then Tora's like, "Shut up, Ushio! I'll get going." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? All this time that I thought Tora was gonna die," and so forth. Oh my gosh, I don't know anymore. But if Tora's alive, he's alive. That's kind of funny. Anyways, pretty crazy episode, you know, that kind of thing. So it looks like I'll put in simple bullet points in no bigger detail. Is that the Hakumen is defeated and everything's gone back to normal. Well, not exactly, but and the Mirror Demon says that we yokai don't really die at all. We just return to Earth, you know, that kind of thing. But I don't know. And you know, Tora dies too, you know, that kind of thing. But yoke and so forth. So yeah. Anyways, as for the Ushio to Tora second season, I gotta say, I actually did have some major I actually had a lot of fun, you know, despite like it has its certain flaws here and there in the series in general. I mean, like, I remember like the first season was very, very episodic lately, a lot, you know. That's the truth. But when it came to this one, it had some episodic moments too, but it had some character development, not just for Ushio, but Tora in general, you know, when it came to the series overall. And I actually still had a lot of fun seeing them, like, play around, kick some butt, and knock everyone out, you know, that kind of thing. But, you know, like, I'm really glad to see things, like, come to an end or something. It's been a real good fun ride. I really actually had a lot of fun seeing like Ushio and Tora fighting monsters and how they bonded, not just as friends but as brothers in general, the way I look at it, you know. Now, as for the second season, I think it earned a 7 out of 10 for me. I mean, it's not all perfect. It still has its issues here and there, which I don't really remember or don't really know what they are. But one thing for sure, there were a lot of things that kind of bothered me very, very much. That's for sure. But as for the entire series in general, I think I had a lot of fun seeing Ushio to Tora, you know? Even though the first season did have its, like, episodic, like, problems or something, it still had its fun with certain development for certain yokai and characters and so forth. What I also enjoyed about this series is that a lot of characters had a role to play besides, like, being put to the side, etc., you know? And what I think about the entire series of Ushio to Tora of the anime in general, I think it earns maybe possibly a let me see here, a 7 out of 10 in general, you know? I think it was a fun ride and so forth, and I'm really glad, like, I've seen Ushio to Tora to the very end, you know? I mean, like, many of y'all may dislike the series, which is fine, you know? Everyone has their facts to why they don't like a certain series, and that's how it is. So, had some fun. Glad to see Ushio to Tora come to an end. Until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. I'm out for Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot toot toot.